right, welcome back, friends. It's Mike Mutzel here. Hope you're having a great day. You know what? I forgot. I need to actually turn something down on the camera here so you're not hearing a bunch of feedback. Okay, how's that? That should be good. Welcome back. All right, so would love to talk with you about sleep today. I was in Portland, Oregon yesterday doing some great filming with Paul Thomas and others, and had a great dinner with my friends Dr. Catherine Metzler and Daniel Sewell. I'll be telling you a little bit more about some of those in just a minute, but I was sharing some tips that I use when I travel on Instagram, and some of my folks that I'm connected with, I'm sure some of you, if you're not, I'm over at metabolic_Mike. For example, I was sharing tips about mouth taping, which we talked a lot about on this podcast, on this video. Sorry, I'm trying to find the tools. 3 on micropore tape, Somnifix. Let's see, I was sharing with folks, this red, it's just like a headlamp by Pretzel. I think it's called Tikka, Tikka. We're going to talk about that. So one of the things that I do instead of turning on a bunch of lights when I travel or at home is bring this headlamp around. And some folks were like, wow, I didn't know about that. And then melatonin and how melatonin affects the liver, which for those of you that are interested in burning more fat for fuel, making ketones, that's important. Sorry, my microphone's like moving around here. So I was hoping just to hop on and share some of that with you guys here. Hopefully this is working. Yeah, I sure hope you can hear me okay. Now. Let me just see what you guys are saying here about the audio and everything like that, because you know how these things go sometimes. Let me just see here. How do I sound? How are we doing? Because I want to get right into it, talk about some of the science, talk about how to improve your sleep. So we got some of you on here. Little reverb. There we go. All right, I should be a lot better, guys. I realized that I did not have this microphone on, and I was sitting here talking away. So we are talking all about sleep. Sorry for the slow introduction. For those of you guys that watch the replay afterwards, and you're like, dude, why do these live streams take so long to catch on and stuff, take off? Because it's just me streaming from my computer and phone and camera, and sometimes there's some challenges, right? So I'm going to get your questions after 10 minutes. We're going to dive right into it. I really, as always, I'm so grateful that you guys are here. So, I first got interested in sleep, when I started to dive into the circadian rhythm research when I was writing the book Belly Fat Effect. I think a lot of you have read this. I published this back in early 2014, did a lot of the research back in 2013, 2012, and I was coming across a lot of research articles on circadian rhythms and biological rhythms. And, I always thought it was interesting, like women menstruate around the same time, of the month, right? If they start working together. So there's some rhythm there. For men, right, our testosterone is peaking right now in the middle of the summer as I stream this live. It's August, is it the 1st? No, it's today. Yeah, I think today's, the 2nd. So August the 2nd, our testosterone is highest in the summer. For women, their testosterone is lowest in the summer, but highest in the winter. That way, there's not everyone's horny at the same time. I don't know why. I mean, it makes more sense to me that would be the case, but nature, you can't outsmart nature, right? So anyway, there's all these cycles, right? Adrenal hormones are highest in the morning, and they peak off, and slow down, and the production declines as the day goes on. Interestingly, insulin sensitivity tends to become more prominent throughout the day. So you're a little bit more insulin sensitive in the earlier part of the day. So there's all these different factors, right? So I started to dive into that and wrote that in chapter 8, which, by the way, guys, below this video, I'll give you a free primer on that chapter in our free keto course. If you just go to courses.com, there's a free course there. Courses.highintensityhealth.com. There's a free course there, and I have some information for you on that. So started to dive into it, and I realized once I was diving into all the circadian rhythm research, I realized that, man, I wasn't doing things the greatest, right? I was living this life where I was traveling. I was a supplement rep, living in Seattle, traveling, to Chicago all the time, every other week. And so I started to make changes in my own life. And that's when I realized, like, my blood sugar numbers that I had been tracking, this is like 5-6 years ago, started to really improve and get better. And so then I started to take sleep very, very seriously, because at first I thought it was kind of one of those things that didn't really matter all that much, as long as you exercise and eat real food. So sleep is super, super important. And I want to send a shout out to my friend Tab Furchaw. He's a co-founder and CEO of Free Flight Systems. We've had him on the show before, and he's been a huge influencer. He comes at this from a different angle. He's an entrepreneur and creator, innovator. He's created drones and things like that. And he shares with me all types of insights about his heart rate variability and deep sleep scores using the Aura Ring. And you guys know there's a promo code below this video. But so we bounce ideas off each other and so forth. And interesting, what he's found is the more that he fasts and the more that he compresses that feeding window, his deep sleep scores increase and his heart rate variability increases. So think about that. It's kind of interesting that we're, even in the keto world, we eat 2 to 3 meals a day, a lot less than traditional like bodybuilders and things like that. But, he's of the belief that like less is better, at least for those proxies, deep sleep and heart rate variability. So keep that in mind. Also in the little introduction I shared with you, and I can just pan to it right now, this Juve Red Light. And let me just cut to it. Let me see here. If I cut to, there we go. Hopefully that, it's not playing right. I apologize. It's not playing how I wanted it to, but the Juve Red Light. So this is a near infrared and let's see, I think it's 680 and 710 nanometers. I don't know all the nanometers on the light, but this light, what I've found is it really enhances deep sleep. I found, like my wife and I found, like if you use it first thing in the morning. Oh, and by the way, this doubled my testosterone too. I'll get to that image in just a second. But this Juve Light is absolutely amazing for kickstarting your body's circadian rhythm, and it has this interesting effect too when used before bed. And even if you wake up in the middle of the night, and this actually happened, the reason why I'm making this video is because this happened to me last night, and this was the first time I've ever done this. We've had the light since March. It hangs on the back of doors and things like that. It's a $2,000 investment. It's a little expensive, but it works wonders for your biology. I have friends that come up to me and they go, "Wow, Mike, your skin looks so much better." Not that it looked awful before, but I have acne, pockmarks, and things like that, and they're like, "You don't look as tired to me." So I get that comment a lot. And my wife, she's 43. She's 43? Oh my gosh. Yes, she's 43. She will be 43 this year. She's 42 right now. Her skin is improving dramatically. She used to, every 6-8 months, would get little Botox here and there, stuff like that. That's like, Botox is like gone. She doesn't even think about that. Doesn't need it because of this Juve Light. And so it's a mitochondrial-based therapy. I need to do a little bit more research, to be totally honest with you, about photobiomodulation. But all I know is it stimulates the mitochondria within our body. And I like to actually get it up my nose a little bit so that it stimulates the mitochondria in my brain. I do have the V Light as well. We can talk more about that later. But anyhow, if you ever get up in the middle of the night and then you go, lay back down and you're like, "Man, I can't get back to sleep. Like, what do I do?" Well, the Juve Light is a great way to help you do that, because you can just kind of, like, it seems stimulatory because this light is bright as hell. Like if I were to turn it on and you were standing right there, you'd be like, "Whoa, what's going on, Mike? This light is super bright." But again, it's penetrating deeper within our biology and stimulating those mitochondria. Remember, the main reason that fasting, that exercise, and the ketogenic diet has such a powerful impact on our biology is through the mitochondria. So that's just something to consider. This is a mitochondrial-based therapy, and it can be very effective for sleep, whether you use the therapy in the morning or before bed. I would suggest starting first thing in the morning. It kickstarts your day. I mean, a perfect morning routine would be, and what I do is now stand in front of the Juve Light, full body. I mean, this thing is like almost 6 feet tall. It's like 5'5". If I had to, it's long. It basically fits on a door. So fully naked. The idea is you want to get your gonads, both men and women, gonads, everything. You want to be pretty close to it, and it will help to kickstart that body's, your circadian rhythm. As we talked about with Evan Hirsch well over a year ago on the podcast, how he gets people sleeping better at night is by kickstarting their adrenals and their biology, their circadian rhythm biology, first thing in the morning. So the Juve Light can help with that. Obviously, we have free sun at our disposal if we do live in places where it is sunny often. And so that's another great way. Just get out first thing in the morning, get some natural sunlight. Make sure it hits the retina. I think I have a diagram, and I do have a diagram, I know, in here about the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Let's see here. I want to just kind of share this with you guys because this is, I don't want to spend too much time on this. So this is chapter 8. You can get access to this in the free course. If you go to courses.highintensityhealth.com, I'll put that free course. But this is kind of the light cues. And again, what I see on the online space and podcasts and Instagram is we get myopically focused on something like macronutrient partitioning, Should you be 80% fat, 90% fat? Should you be zero carb? Should you be carnivore, vegan, paleo? We talk a lot about the minutia, about these different diets, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, diet is just one element of this big onion called our metabolism that's interconnected, woven together. And the circadian rhythm system is this software system that integrates with all the nutrient receptors, with enzymes, glucagon, insulin, adrenaline, noradrenaline, all those hormones, growth hormone, everything like that. So your circadian biology is very, very important. And so that's why we're having this discussion, because, even if your macronutrients are on point, 100% grass-fed, organic, free range, you name it, and your biological rhythms are off, well, guess what, guys? You're going to have challenges burning fat for fuel. And that's why I get the questions. I'm sure if you're listening right now, you've tried keto, you've tried carnivore, you've tried the different diets that are popular as of late, and you've probably improved your health. You've lost some weight. You've probably improved your blood sugar. But there's probably, you still have room to work with. You still have room for progress. And so that's why we're having this conversation, to look beyond the macronutrient, right? Because sorry, my throat just all of a sudden started itching, as happens when you go live on various platforms like YouTube. So that's why the non-nutritional factors play a big role. And if you're interested, I'm writing a whole book on this, on all the non-nutritional factors and nutritional factors that affect your body's ability to burn fat for fuel. More on that coming in the next couple weeks. But I've been spending just like all my free time doing research, writing, to help you kind of have just a summary. Very easy to read, very fun. It pops. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. But let's get to some tools. Here's some things that I want to share with you guys, and then I'm going to get to your questions. Okay, and I'm also going to strip out this audio and put it in iTunes. I don't know if you guys know on YouTube that we actually have a audio podcast. It's High Intensity Health in iTunes. We have 235 plus episodes, and what I decided with these live videos is I'm just going to pull out the audio because it's going through this great microphone. And if you're listening and you're driving, or if you're driving and you want to listen to something that is educational and informative, you can find us in iTunes. So first things first, 3M duct tape. This is called gaff tape. I just happen to have this because, when I'm traveling, I'm filming, usually doing an interview or a podcast, something along those lines. And I found this to be very helpful when you travel, or you go to the in-laws, you go to you have a new girlfriend, new boyfriend, or whatever, you're going to go visit them out of town. Bring some tape, because it's often, more the norm than the exception to the rule, that there is excessive light coming in to your room, whether you're going to be sleeping in a hotel room, spouse, in-laws, mother, whatever. Light comes in, and light perturbs your rhythms. It perturbs your ability to get deep, restful sleep. So I like to always have some duct tape around, and this is called gaff tape. It's made by the company 3M, the same one that makes the 3M micropore tape. And by the way, friends, there's links right below this video and on the show notes page with all the resources and tools that we're going to talk about here for sleep. So what you can do is go to the bathroom in your Airbnb or your hotel, get a few towels, and if there's light coming in from a door, what you can do is use the tape. I also carry tacks with me. That's how kind of weird I am. But yeah, you put the tape, and you can tape other pillows, blankets, pillowcases, whatever, to block light coming in from the street into your room, wherever that may be. So keep that in mind. This is like $2. I mean, you can go to Ace Hardware. I'm sure a Walgreens has it. I haven't checked. Again, I bought this from like a camera store, but it's the same tape. Or you can do construction quality duct tape. That's going to be a little bit more robust, but sometimes it's hard to tear. This paper duct tape is like really easy. Like you can rip it off like that. And in a pinch, I've used this as, mouth tape. Okay, so again, it's nothing pretty, nothing to brag home about for mouth taping, but the 3M micropore tape is great for that. Obviously, our friends over at Somnifix. Let me grab this guy. I'm moving around here. Hopefully the audio's okay. So we got the Somnifix right here. I like this definitely when you're starting out, when you're getting used to mouth taping, because it's very easy. It pulls right off. It has a little pierce in there so you can talk to your spouse. Like, this makes the practice of mouth taping much easier to kind of kickstart a habit with. And also for your spouse that maybe is a little bit uncomfortable with the process of, or the thought of mouth taping, or your child. So now I have our 6-year-old daughter. She's every night she's mouth taping, but she likes the Somnifix because if she needs to wake up, if she needs to, yell to mom or me or whatever in the middle of the night, she can just tear it off very quickly. The downside of the upside of the 3M micropore tape is it's much more affordable than the Somnifix. But man, getting it off is a pain in the rear. So for those of you all that have, children that are mouth breathers and stuff like that snore, that wiggle, maybe you have a spouse with sleep apnea, start them off on the Somnifix, and you can continue that perpetuity if you'd like. I go back and forth with that between the 3M micropore tape and the Somnifix. The Somnifix is a lot, it's hyperallergenic. It's a great product, but for some people, it can pop off, and I'm one of those people. So I generally do the Somnifix plus a little 3M micropore tape. All right. So we covered, just to kind of summarize up to now, we covered the importance of entraining your body's circadian rhythm system, getting some light exposure first thing in the morning. That can be the sun, that can be the Juve Light. Again, the Juve Light, it more than doubled my testosterone. I'll find you that image here in just a minute. It's great for your hair, skin, and nails. And my friend Tab, he's an engineer. He has found, and a lot of his coworkers who are really engineer-minded, hopefully that's the right way to say it, they track their sleep data like nobody's business because they want to perform at a very, very high level. These are people that are making and innovating drones, camera equipment that was used on the set of Wolf of Wall Street and Game of Thrones, camera stabilizing equipment. They are producing high level, very sophisticated technologies that the world has never seen before. So getting good sleep is imperative for their innovative and creative capacities, and so they treat this very seriously. Understandably, it's their business, it's their job. As all of us, have a lot of important things we want to do, and sleep can help us wherever we are, whether that's stay-at-home mom or you're a CEO or an attorney, whatever. Good sleep is very important. So the Juve Light is great. There's promo codes below this video. I can tell you this product absolutely works. I want to get more, one in the front, one in the back, one on the sides, so that I can just save time and because my back, I tend to throw it out periodically. Knock on wood, thankfully I haven't done that yet this summer, which I normally always do. So I'm hoping that that's not going to happen thanks to the Juve. And then, sleep tracking is great. The Oura Ring is awesome. You can start out with the free app called Sleep Cycle. That's a free tool that's to all of us, to our disposal if we have an iPhone. But the Oura Ring gives you good insights into the sleep architecture, deep sleep, REM sleep, heart rate variability, and so forth. We talked about mouth taping. That can be really great, as to make sure that you're breathing through your nose while you're sleeping, so that your tongue is not collapsing on the airway. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, Stasha Gomanek, we did a great interview with her. Dr. Mark Behenna, we've done a lot of stuff with him. You can learn more about that. So we talked about using this headlamp. And, this headlamp by, Petzl, P-E-T-Z-L, and it has a red light to it. For those of you guys listening in iTunes, you can't see this red light, so that's why you can check out the video. But this is great, so you're not turning on all these fluorescent lights. That's the downside about hotels is, man, they got lights everywhere. They're bright fluorescent lights, a lot of blue light that's going to stimulate your body. It's going to perturb melatonin production that is so critical. By the way, if you're interested in burning fat for fuel, which I know all of you are, melatonin is great. It's great for your liver. It's great for metabolism. I frequently have travel with supplemental melatonin. There's links below this video where we have the Myoscience melatonin, super clean, 3 milligram sublingual. I love melatonin. It's great for your liver, and your liver is absolutely necessary for burning fat for fuel, for making ketones. So that's why I like this little headlamp, friends. It was like $11 at REI. Again, it's the Petzl Tikka, Tikka. What else we got? Well, I didn't put this in the notes that I was going to really talk about, but the iPhone at night. Well, you want to make sure that you minimize your exposure. And if you are going to be on the phone at all, I am going to share with you, I'm moving around a lot, I know, these blue light blocking glasses. Now, these blue light blocking glasses have come a long way, haven't they? I remember when they first came out. Well, we were buying the Uvex glasses back in 2012. These are like these protective eyewear that construction folks and industrial workers wear. These big, ugly looking things for $5. And one of the first products on the market was from a friend of mine, James Swanwick. He's been on the podcast back in 2016. And he came out with this new style, which is whiter. So it's just smooth. It fits on the face very well. if you're going to be doing any computer work during the day, if you're going to be traveling like on a subway and an airplane where they have a lot of lights, you got to invest. They're $59, guys. That's it. $59 to improve your sleep, to balance your body's blood sugar, insulin, cortisol, testosterone, DHA, all that. I mean, come on, $59. It's nothing. All you do is just, you don't break them or lose them, and you only have to pay for it once. So get some of these. They're on Amazon, or you can just go to swanwicksleep.com. I would follow James Swanwick over on Instagram and stuff like that. There's a lot of competitors out there now. I like James and his product because he was first to market, and he's been really kind of pushing the needle for a long time. So definitely wear those if you're going to be using the phone. But my advice, guys, is after 8 o'clock, just put this thing away. Set your alarm, put it away. It's not serving you at night. It's going to perturb your body's circadian rhythms. And let me just show you. I'll cut to, let's see, where can I start this thing from? Let me just cut to this so you can kind of see, my sleep scores. So check this out. All right, well, hopefully you could see on there, like, sometimes my sleep scores are great and sometimes they're really bad, and that's the deep sleep. They're really bad anytime I have the phone or computer. And there's times when I have to edit a video to get it out to you guys, or edit a podcast, or just something that is imperative, important. And yeah, I do sacrifice sleep for that. But I really try not to do that, and I'd recommend that you don't either. So keep that in mind. What else? You want to make sure your room's cool. So I like to open up, here's something else. I'm glad I thought about it. Your Wi-Fi. Let me just start out. So this was a video I shared on my Instagram page, and people were surprised. They didn't know that Wi-Fi perturbs sleep. So let's cut to it.
Over Windows, because if you have light coming in, this stuff comes in handy. And final tip, unplug that EMF generating sleep disturbing thing called a Wi-Fi router. Very easy. All you do is just unplug it on the bottom, and in the morning, plug it back in. Simple as that. What's cool about this?
So as you can tell, it's super simple. All you do is unplug the Wi-Fi at night. Now, I would suggest, I have friends like Ben Greenfield, Ben Lynch, who their houses don't even have Wi-Fi. It's all Ethernet. It's all hardwired. So, we're starting to learn that non-native EMF, Wi-Fi, routers, all that, the smart meters on, your electricity, meter and stuff like that feeds into your home or your apartment, those release different compounds that, guess what? They perturb our cell membranes and our mitochondria. So you definitely want to unplug the Wi-Fi wherever you are at night, in your home, in your family's home, when you're traveling, Airbnb, hotel, whatever. Just unplug it. You don't need it on at night. You just don't need that exposure. Again, is unplugging the Wi-Fi going to help you lose 10 pounds? Maybe, maybe not. But it's certainly going to help to make sure that all the dietary therapies, the exercise, the fasting that you're doing, all the different modalities, the supplements you take, whatever, it's going to help you get there quicker, because the research is just now starting to come out about the negative effects of Wi-Fi. And I will tell you, the plants that are near our Wi-Fi don't do as well. They get the same amount of light as plants that are a little bit further away. So that's just an anecdotal N of one. Some of you might be thinking like, oh, come on, Mike, that's all. But really, there's some good data there. I sat next to a forensic electrical engineer on an airplane, and he was telling me, and this is why I fly Southwest Airlines. He was saying he sees now with all the new airlines have underneath their seats charging stations and stuff. Even just that is causing health issues. So he literally goes around and people that are having aberrant health issues that are filing insurance claims, he has to do a forensic analysis. He's an engineer, and he has to reverse, kind of figure out, is this smoke and mirrors, or is there a biological consequence associated with electrical exposure? And so he was telling me all kinds of things, like your smart meter outside your home. You want to be as far away from that as possible at all times. Like, you don't want to sleep next to that, heaven forbid. You don't want to sleep next to outlets behind your head. And that's the downside about these hotels now, is they have these headboards. There's all kinds of stuff, TV going through there, and sound systems and reading lights. Just unplug all that crap if you're in a hotel. Come on, Westin and the Kimpton properties, they're really bad at that. Unplug your Wi-Fi. So I think that's pretty much it. We've pretty much covered it. And again, you want to make sure your room is cold. Sometimes just taking a quick cold shower before bed can help, particularly like right now in the summer when it's really hot out. I found that to be particularly helpful. So Yeah, guys, and last but not least, this is something we formulated, the Myo Relax and Calm. I like it because it has your electrolytes, magnesium and taurine. It has L-theanine. What else it has? GABA and myo-inositol. I don't know why I was drawing a blank on that. Myo-inositol is one of my favorite B vitamins. It does so much for our body's blood sugar health. It's a great, nutrient in that regard. It's not something. None of these nutrients, unfortunately, we're going to get in high amounts from food. And again, I'm food first, supplement second, and lifestyle first, and all that. Supplements are way down on the line. But Myo Relax and Calm, you can find it on Amazon for under $40. My wife and I just love this product. We've been, experimenting with this for quite a while. Came up with these ratios, and we've had a lot of our clients say, "Man, that is really a game changer for my sleep scores, for blood sugar health, and all these different things." So you can consider that as well. Those nutrients are often not paired together. Again, myo-inositol, magnesium, theanine, taurine, GABA, all in one. So that's all I have for this. I would love to know what you guys think. If you're digging this content, this setup, hit that like button. Just let me know what you think, and I'll get to any questions that you guys do have here. Let me just see. Wait till 5 grams is in your normal. It's going to suck. I don't really know 5G. Yeah, I know. That's crazy on the 5G, right? Oh my gosh, we got a live 521 in the house. What is up, guys? Someone says it's better now. Perfect from West Lake Sammamish. Cool. Marcin, I didn't know that you're local. Gerard says, talk about Somnifix. What do you want to know, Gerard? Lennox says, sorry, that water kind of went down the wrong pipe. Lennox says, yo, man, I have a small question about heart rate while on keto since I started 2 months ago. Even though I've lost a lot of weight and all that sort of stuff, I get all this heart rate, my beat so hard when walking. Yeah, Lennox, you got to work with a healthcare practitioner, but I can't give you this sort of advice over YouTube. But I would definitely make sure that you're working with a provider, getting your electrolytes right. You got to make sure that something is not going wrong. You don't want to mess around with heart issues and things of the sort. Mark Bequest, my Oura Ring has been ordered. Thanks for the coupon, Mark. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I don't think I mentioned that yet, guys. If you want the best heart rate variability and sleep tracking tool in the world, it's called the Oura Ring. You can save over $50 on that. C. Dixon says, more magnesium, 800 milligrams a day for me. You're a 140-pound person. Awesome. Just to give you guys an idea on their Myo Relax and Calm, so you're getting per scoop, it's 75 milligrams. But again, taurine is another great L-carnitine. Mike, taurine is a great nutrient for the heart. There tends to be, I can't remember the concentration in the heart, but I believe the heart is one of the most taurine-dense tissues in the body. Keep that in mind. What else we got? Vanessa says, thoughts on synthetic vitamins? Yeah, so it's best to get your vitamins, your micronutrients, minerals, things like that from Whole Foods. But there's whole food companies that say, there's such a big difference and all that. But if you look, like Standard Process, I'll just say the name of the company. They've been around for a very long time. They're a very big business. Where do you get organic carrots in Wisconsin in the winter, right? They're not growing. They do add in synthetic vitamins, right? Back into the thing. So look, the body, if you think about ketones are synthetic, but they work. They have appetite suppressant effects. Dom D'Agostino's lab is doing research in Navy SEALs with oxygen rebreathers using synthetic ketones made in a lab, right? The body, it really depends on the form. You have to make sure that the form of whatever it is, whether it's a natural vitamin, from whole food, or synthetic made in the lab, fermented by non-yeast bacteria, whatever, you have to make sure it's the form your biology will recognize. Synthetic hormones, right? They raise hormone levels. Ask a bodybuilder that's 300 pounds at 4% body fat. They're on synthetic hormones. They work, right? The body recognizes these things. So when we hear about whole food versus synthetic, usually it's kind of a marketing ploy by the company that's making them. And I'm not saying that one is always better than the other, but it's food first for sure. And if you eat a whole real foods diet and you're pretty healthy and you grow a lot of your own vegetables, you have nutrient replete soil, you probably don't need a lot of vitamins and supplements. But for a lot of us, that's not the case, right? We're just, getting what we can, doing the best we can within our means. And that's where things like supplementing with myo-inositol, melatonin, taurine, carnitine, B vitamins, things like that. We're getting those through supplements, which, by the way, sometimes they're derived from food. Sometimes they're derived just in the lab, straight up synthesizing, adding chemicals, to other chemicals and things like that. Or they're made by actually bacteria. So just keep that in mind, like how that works, okay? Oh, and by the way, I mean, if you think that, synthetic vitamins don't really do anything, if you look at organic, non-GMO, the healthiest animal food out there, like the animals that we eat, they do get supplemented with synthetic vitamins all day long. Like you go to a pet store, you go to a feed supply, tractor supply store and look at things that they're giving to cows, things that they're giving to chickens or pigs. It's tons of synthetic vitamins. So if you're like, dude, I don't believe in that, whatever, but then you go eat organic, free range, pig or cow or whatever, they're getting synthetic vitamins too. So just consider that because, again, that's just what's available. There's not like whole food vitamins for pigs. That would be so expensive, for a pig farmer or a cattle rancher, right? So keep that in mind. Let's see. So Mark says, go to the in-laws, tape up the mills. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Lennox says he bought potassium chloride salt. Cool. That's a good idea to get, potassium. I get enough potassium through diet. We have a lot of greens in our backyard, especially this time of year. And then also one of my favorite kind of keto foods is avocados. Avocados are rich in potassium. But someone says duct tape, how much they run. Jacob, I'm not sure what you're referring to. So whatchamacallit, someone is saying that so Mark is also saying that his iPhone was Snore Lab. I haven't heard of Snore Lab. That sounds really cool. So that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, if you're digging these style videos, hit that like button. That just lets me know that I'll do more stuff like this. Hopefully the sound is good. And I do a lot of on a daily basis, sharing more Instagram stories. So if you're on Instagram, definitely let's connect. Say hello, send me a direct message. Say, hey, I follow you on YouTube. I always write back and say hi and stuff like that. My handle is metabolic_Mike. If you just search Mike Mutzel, it will show up. And that's where I just provide small little tips throughout the day. Things that I'm eating, exercise routines, stuff like that. Obviously, we're pretty active here on YouTube, 2 to 3 videos a week. But every single day, Instagram, we're there. So I'd love to connect with you. Again, if you like this, hit that like button. We got some great stuff coming this weekend for you in terms of content. Keto for Cancer with Miriam. What else we have? Deanna and I are going to do another live, another giveaway Saturday morning. So we got some good stuff coming, guys. I love connecting with you. Love hearing from you. I read all your comments. I don't always reply to every single one because we get literally over 2,000 comments a month, and it is hard to reply to all of them, but I read all of them and I hit that heart, and I like to connect with you guys. So I'm super grateful that you're here right now, or that you're watching the replay. More lives coming to you because we got I got my kitchen dialed in, got the room dialed in, so I can just easily just crank out content for you. So hope you have a great evening. Another thing that can help you, I didn't mention it, is getting into the sauna. After this, I'm going to go into the sauna because it really helps you to calm down and be present. And it's a great time to read, to detoxify, to get rid of persistent organic pollutants and heavy metals and things along those lines. So that's it for me for now. As always, I'm super grateful that you're here, that you're watching these videos, that you subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you share these videos with your friends and family, and that really means a lot. I see all those shares and I'm blown away. So hope you have a great day, great evening, wherever you are in the world. We'll catch you on the next video. All right, guys. Peace out.